Goffman has some other things he studied. He was very prolific in the time he was here. He's gone now. But he studied something called a rite of passage and something called total institutions. A degradation ceremony that occurs inside a total institution, and then something called resocialization. Now, Goffman says a rite of passage is when we move from one place in the society to another, from one role to a different role. So, what are some of those? Sitting in the front seat?
My oldest son, just him. It's right because he's the oldest.
Yeah, so he gets in the front seat. Okay? So going from the back to the front. Actually going from riding backwards to riding forwards in the car seat is a rite of passage. Now, rites of passage are typically marked by ceremonies. Now, a rite means it's something we do again and again and again. Driver's license, absolutely, absolutely is a rite of passage. A non-driver to being a driver. Yeah, 21 to being able to drink, absolutely. What else? What?
18 to vote.
18 and voting, yes. Voter to non-voter. Marked by a ceremony, a ritual. What? Yeah. Graduating from high school, graduating from college, graduating with your PhD. Those are all rites of passage. Aren't they marked by a ceremony? Weddings. Actually going to prison. Huh? Being released, absolutely. There's a rite of passage out. A certain way it's done all the time. Yeah. Now, a total institution is a prison. That's one example of it. What's some other total? Now, a total institution, Goffman studied, says this is a place that provides everything the person needs. Food, clothing, shelter, everything the person needs is a total institution. What are some? Nursing home? Hospitals, absolutely. They provide you clothing, don't they? You can go in there and not have your own clothes, and they give you clothes, and you're in a bed, and they give you food, and they tell you what time you're going to eat and basically what you're going to eat. Jail, absolutely. A jail's a total institution. What? Daycare? Yeah, sure, huh? What else? Boot camp, absolutely. Military boot camp. That's one I want to talk about, actually. Because I want to talk a little bit about degradation ceremonies that occur in total institutions. Often this is called hazing, if it's a fraternity, sorority, social club. So my son's in the Marine Corps, and he invites me to come out to San Diego to watch him graduate from boot camp. So off I go. This is a wonderful opportunity for a sociologist. I am so fired up I can hardly stand it. I've got 8 million questions I want to ask him because he's been in boot camp and we hadn't been able to talk. And I just want to know all about this experience. Poor guy. I bet he's going to be embarrassed, don't you think? So I show up and I'm just observing everything and I'm like, wow, what's that, what's that, what's that? This is just like Las Vegas to me. And I see these guys walking along and they've got their pants rolled up at the bottom and they're white cuffed because their kind of fatigues are rolled up. And they've got on gray sweatshirts with a stencil across the front of them. And nobody else has that except this one little group that came walking in. And they are in line, and I walk into the cafeteria with my son, and they move over and go back behind us and get back in line again and let us go in front of them. Wow. Total institution. What's the deal with these guys? So I say to my son, who are those guys? He says, oh, those are guys that hadn't been here 2 weeks yet. If you hadn't been here 2 weeks or 3 weeks, then we make you roll your cuffs up at the bottom and wear a gray sweatshirt with a stenciled number on it instead of a name, because we don't even consider you even close to a Marine yet. So you're just the lowest of the low. So they can't eat before anybody else. So anybody that comes in, they have to stand behind them. I said, is that why they went behind us? Oh, yeah, they get in trouble if they didn't do that. Now, here's another guy, and the drill sergeant's yelling at him. He's doing push-ups. That one I get. He got in trouble. He's getting punished. But another group comes marching by, and their flag is inside a little sheath, and it's got the little gold eagle on the top of it's gone. And so I'm like, these guys got their flag out, and they got this little gold eagle, and these guys don't. So I'm like, what's the deal, Todd? What's this group? And he says, oh, if you get in trouble, they make you roll your flag up and put it in a sheath as a unit, and they make you take the eagle off the top. Huh? Another degradation ceremony. So then I got one. We parked the car for graduation, and I take off across this parade field to go over to these stands to sit down, and I'm walking across, and I see this guy over there kind of jumping up and down and yelling and screaming at me, but I can't hear him. It's 500 yards away, and I just keep walking across this, and all of a sudden he comes running at me, screaming at me, who do you think you are? And I said, well, I'm the dad of one of your recruits. And he says, get off this field. Get off of here now. And I went, holy cow, what have I done? He said, this is a sacred field. Everybody that's marched here has gone off to war and people have died. This is honored ground to us. Get the hell off our honored field. Yes, okay, I'm gone. So I go way around, and walk all the way around and sit down. I'm like going, I'm already in trouble. Boy, what a place this is, huh? So the guys come in, and they're clear over on the other side of the field, and they go out for an 8-mile, what they call, get ready to graduate run, And I notice there's a guy hanging around here with all their equipment. Well, they put somebody on guard because people will come take your stuff on purpose because you're not guarding your weapons and stuff while you're running. So somebody has to stay there and guard for the group. Now, my other son goes to the 101st Airborne, and so I go watch his. And he's telling me about his first day in boot camp, and what they did is they take them and they put them on a great big flatbed truck, lots of them, with all their equipment, which is 3 bags, a small one, a big one, and something else. So then they come up and they throw all the bags off the truck into a great big huge pile. And then they say, get your bag and get on the truck in 5 minutes. And people are diving in the jerking and trying to get the bags, and they never make it in 5 minutes. Okay, run 4 laps, and they run 4 laps, and they come back. Now you got 5 minutes, and they just can't do it. And they do this all day till it's almost dark. And then the drill guy says, you idiots. Now, everybody go get 3 bags. Now, let's make a line and take those bags and drop them. All the little ones here, all these here, all that. Now, walk by and get the bag with your name and get on the truck. And everybody does it within 2 minutes. And he says, working as a group is more important than being an individual. Groups can do things individuals can't do. What are they doing already? They're teaching them that a group is more important than you, than the individual. They're breaking down the individuality that we were raised with, and they're re-socializing them. By the end, my son says, if there's a machine gun opens up over here, we're going to run right at it, all of us. Some of us will get killed, but we'll overwhelm that machine gun and take it out, and then we can complete our mission. And I get, no wonder they want 18-year-olds. Because if the machine gun opened up there, I would be down there, crawling around, crying probably. Okay? You get the idea? Now, a degradation ceremony is what? Those pants, that shirt, that guidon that's off the top of your flag. Belittling. Right. Punishment for not following the norms of a total institution. Now, inside a prison, you will realize there's different norms here. It won't take you long to catch on that whoever's the toughest is going to run it, and that you're not going to be able to beat that person up, but they're going to be able to beat you up. And you better not do certain things or you're in trouble. And pretty soon you'll learn those rules of the total institution you're in. That's part of socialization. So rites of passages and total institution. The monastery is also a total institution.